Welcome to Book Recaps. Today I'm going to read you a quick recap of the book Dune by the American author Frank Herbert. Sit down and relax. Dune is an epic science fiction book first published in 1965. He was inspired by a visit to Florence, Oregon, at the northern end of Oregon Dunes, where the United States Department of Agriculture was trying to stabilize the sand dunes by planting so-called poverty grasses, vegetation which grow in poor quality soil. Over the next 5 years he researched and wrote, with the initial version coming out in 1963. Dune is considered a prime example of soft science fiction. It focuses less on technological marvels of the distant future and more on the development of the human mind through time. Dune is set in a galaxy with thousands of inhabited planets. There is a complete ban on any type of thinking machines, artificial intelligence, or as described in the book, machine made in the likeness of man. The possession any kind calculators, computers, or any machine with cognitive capabilities is considered an act of religious heresy and is punishable with immediate death. However, technologies such as faster-than-light space travel, energy shields, laser weaponry, advanced biotechnology, and advanced nanotechnology exist. Now to the story. Dune is set in the distant future where humanity has built a true intergalactic empire with entire planets controlled by noble houses, effectively forming fiefdoms in space. These intergalactic fiefs all pay tribute to the reigning imperial house Carino that is under the rule of the current Padishah Emperor, Shaddam IV. Dune centers of the life and times of Paul Atreides, scion of House Atreides, one of the more prominent of the noble houses, as they settle on the desert planet Arrakis as its duly appointed rulers. Arrakis is the only source in all the known universe of the spice melange, a mysterious substance that prolongs human life and health. The spice melange is also capable of expanding human cognizance. Through repeated dosages of spice, the human mind is enabled to solve complex mathematical calculations and summations of vast sums of information previously only possible through the use of computers. In larger, more frequent dosages, it has allowed the imbiber to develop psychic abilities, allowing for limited control over time, space, and distance. The ability to make these exceedingly complex calculations, logical derivations coupled with the mastery over spatial relationships have allowed humanity to master faster-than-light travel and colonize space. The manifold benefits of spice effectively make it the most valued substance in the entire universe. Planet Arrakis, the only source of the spice, logically now becomes the most valued planet in the known universe. While the noble houses jockey for position and imperial favor, the Bene Gesserit sisterhood move silently in the background, manipulating families, influencing unions between chosen members of the noble houses, all with the intention of producing the fabled Kwisatz Haderach, a superbeing who possesses immense psychic powers strong enough to bend the laws of space and time, who would lead humanity into a golden age of peace and prosperity. After several centuries of genetic manipulation and interbreeding of noble bloodlines, through the instigation of royal unions, the sisterhood finally manages to succeed in creating the Kwisatz Haderach in the person of Paul Atreides. House Atreides has steadily grown in influence over the years, enough to be considered a serious threat to the imperial rule. This is due to the capable and charismatic leadership of Duke Leto, and the skill of his personal fighting force, considered sufficiently formidable to contend with the Empire's Sardaukar Emperor Shaddam's elite troops, the most feared in the galaxy. Seeing House Atreides as a potential hazard to his rule, the Emperor decides that they must be eliminated. A frontal, all-out assault would be unwise though, as singling out a noble house would merit reprisal from all the other noble houses, possibly even precipitating in a full-blown coup d'état. The Emperor decides to resort to subterfuge and manipulation, as an all-out war against the Atreides would prove too costly and dangerous for him. He leverages the age-old feud between Clan Atreides and Clan Harkonnen, employing the vicious, cunning, and exceedingly ambitious Baron Vladimir Harkonnen to engineer the complete destruction of the noble house. Shaddam forces Duke Leto to assume control over the planet Arrakis, which was formerly under Harkonnen rule. On Arrakis, the Atreides are isolated from the rest of the noble houses, leaving them open to both imperial and Harkonnen attacks, and to ensure his victory over his hated rivals, Baron Vladimir has installed a traitor in their midst, the highly trusted and highly regarded Dr. Wellington Yu. The Harkonnen trap is sprung and the Atreides are rendered helpless by the sudden death of Duke Leto, as well as the speedy assault launched by the combined Harkonnen forces and the Imperial Sardaukar secreted among their ranks. Paul and Jessica manage to escape into the deep desert and encounter a party of Freeman raiders where they manage to best some of their most skilled fighters, immediately earning the group's respect. They are assimilated into the Freeman tribe where they rapidly learn their survival methods, while they in turn teach them the secrets of Bene Gesserit combat and Atreides battle tactics. Over time, Lady Jessica assumes the role of Reverend Mother to the Freeman, which she proves by taking a deadly poison that the Freeman harvest from dying juvenile sandworms, changing it within her body through her mastery of her metabolic functions into a hyper-concentrated form of spice called the Water of Life. This substance further expands their already formidable mental capabilities into near omniscience, an act said to be possible only by a true Reverend Mother. Jessica's transition into Reverend Motherhood allows her access to the collective pool of memories and experiences of every single Reverend Mother who has lived, which provides her with profound insights to situations that arise. While undergoing the spice agony, the test of the Reverend Mother, however, she realizes that she is pregnant with Duke Leto's second child. She names Alia, and the ordeal changes Alia as well, allowing her access to their collective pool of memories just like her mother, resulting in an infant born with the consciousness and mental facilities of several generations of Bene Gesserit Reverend Mothers. Living amongst the Freemen, Paul is exposed to a spice-rich diet, which increases his latent prescient abilities, allowing him to see into the future and guide the Freemen into a period of unprecedented success as a united people. His presence, his leadership, takes on a religious overtone as they begin to regard him as their prophesied Messiah. Paul begins to strategize his retaliation against the Harkonnen rulers of Arrakis as his influence over the Freemen grows. He now conducts surgical guerrilla raids under his pseudonym, Muad'Dib, against Harkonnen outposts, which in turn cripples the known universe, as most every aspect of life in the Dune universe is in one way or another reliant on the spice melange. Despite the success of the raids, Paul is still troubled by his lack of complete prescience. His partial precognition still allows for gaps in his plans, he reasons, and in order to eradicate these gaps completely and usher in a new golden age for humanity, he decides to take a gamble and undergoes the spice agony test, an act that no male Bene Gesserit or would-be Kwisatz Haderach has thusly survived. Paul takes in the Water of Life and ends up in a death-like trance that lasts 3 weeks. Upon awakening from the trance, however, Paul arises as the fully realized Kwisatz Haderach, the messianic figure foretold in Freeman myths prophesies to usher in a new age of prosperity and peace throughout the known universe. His superhuman cognition allows him to understand the full extent of the Emperor's plots. Paul determines that the Emperor Shaddam and the Harkonnens have grown desperate and have combined their forces, ready to invade Arrakis to take it by force. Paul, however, has discovered a way to completely monopolize spice production, that is, by threatening to completely destroy the source of the spice, the entire ecology of the giant sandworms. Alia allows herself to be captured and brought to the Emperor while Paul and his forces attack en masse, leveraging the cover that a titanic sandstorm provides. In the chaos, Alia kills the Baron Vladimir Harkonnen with a Gom Jabbar, a poisoned needle. The Emperor's armies are overwhelmed and Paul confronts the Emperor, threatening to permanently end spice production, bringing the whole universe to a grinding halt, effectively nullifying imperial rule, the machinations of the Bene Gesserit Order, and the Spacing Guild's monopoly on space travel in one blow. The Emperor immediately comprehends that Paul's threat is no empty bluff, and he relinquishes his rule and promises his daughter's hand in marriage to Paul, formally recognizing his ascent to the throne. Emperor Shaddam retires/is exiled to the penal planet Salusa Secundus, and Paul Atreides takes on the mantle of Emperor of the known universe, establishing a completely new system of rule and a new phase of humanity's development as a species. This ends the story. Subscribe for more videos and leave like. Until next time.